Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, it is quite fascinating that every time I think I know what I'm doing in Battlegrounds, and in this season I've been very fortunate. And yes, you could argue it is more a product of my roster than it is my skills. I will never deny that. But I have won like 23 of 27 fights, which for me is the second best ever, but it's the first best ever progress when you consider that with the new shield system, someone who's only made it past gold, any tier of gold once, to platinum, I'm now in diamond 2, and technically one win away from diamond 1. It's been amazing to see how I am now matched up against people who have no chance because their rosters are like Thronebreaker, and you've got people with still a lot of 5 stars in their decks being matched up against me, and quite a few times it forces a force quit, or they'll try one match and realize, oh, it's really just not gonna happen. And so, you know, I'm always thinking, how do I tweak my deck? And I just recently put, because I hate fighting him, 7-star Dragon Main in my deck. I don't know why I chose the 6 stars. There we go. This guy. And he currently is in there. But I think I might swap him out, ironically enough, for someone of the same class, though not a 7-star. Sorry, Wongers. Though I fought quite a few 7-star Wongs, too, in Battlegrounds. No, I thought I would swap him out for a 6-star that I haven't really used in Battlegrounds before, but somebody like my good friend KT1 has talked about at length on his channel. And then, speaking of good friends, my man, Ben, decided that he would send me a showcase of what it's like to use good old Jugs in Battlegrounds. And you can see, I'll hide my webcam, he took down Bishop with only 1.5% health lost, and very easily, it looks like, outworked a class advantage opponent who had Mr. Infamous Iron Doom against Domino. So that was eye-opening by itself. This is in Uru and Gamma, by the way, so it's not like we're talking about bronze and silver. Juggernaut, again, quick work, this time 3.4% health lost only against Man-Thing, a defender with a lot of health. Once again, you have a class advantage matchup with Warlock over Domino, but once again, you have somebody who didn't get to 50,000. And when you're talking about the best of the best players, and my man Koala Ben is one of them, you are talking about people who expect to score on a good matchup over 50,000 points with each matchup. So 45,000 would win quite a few fights in previous rounds and in previous rankings, but not in this case. And then this was just an all-time bloodbath. He loses the most health he's lost, but against a 47-second fight, probably special too, is his best friend against Unawakened 7-star Wickham. And Void against Infamous Iron Doom, I would have felt horrible on paper if I had jumped into a Battlegrounds match like that and paid the price. This is the beauty of a round 3 matchup, though, where, you know, sometimes your options are limited, and so you just got to do your best. And sometimes you're screwed. Here we have a very close matchup. Hood versus Hulkling. Hood just melts Hulkling, but again, this is a 19-second faster fight against a Kingpin, which, on paper, he only lost 1% health here too. On paper, I would not have guessed that. And my guess is Shibby was a little shocked himself. And then you can see he also wanted to throw in a little honorable mention about how Shuri is someone that he uses both on defense sometimes and offense. Defense, Shuri is going to, with that lack of parry for most champions, prevent people like Cosmic Ghost Rider from melting her as quickly, which will delay you. You can see Scorpion versus Sasquatch. I usually just spam special ones when I'm using Scorpion. Was not a thing. And then here is Shuri on offense. So here you had Sasquatch on defense against Scorpion. Here you have Shuri on offense, taken down pretty fast. And Gallon versus Bishop, not the best matchup for him, depending on the the amount of incinerates you can, I guess, inflict on yourself, and barely made it out there. And then here we have Juggernaut again. This is ironically a mixture between Jugs and Shuri. And you can see that Jugs, Kingpin, fast fight, 56 seconds. And then Gallon versus Shuri. Close, but still not worth it. Here is an example of the video form of this Juggernaut versus Bishop. And I gotta say, because I met this awesome gentleman in person this past weekend, I was telling him that my next rank ups were Baron Zemo to rank 4 and Red Hulk to rank 5. Now, don't get me wrong, I still want to do both those rank ups. But given that Juggernaut is way easier for me to use on offense than Zemo, and you just look at that special too, and how you can hold block and have them hit into the unstoppable like Mole Man, and suddenly you can go on the offensive quite easily. That's all he did. Combos, special 2, hold block, counter. And that's all he needed to do to win. I know KT1 has talked about this, Karate Mike, so many other great content creators. But Juggernaut in my brain, I still remember Katie Candy, my Battleground bestie, getting him like 3 out of 4 times. At one point in the 6-star, just feeling cursed, and it was such a meme. And now to have somebody that you look at that was trash, meme, whatever you would call it, literally be an MVP in Battlegrounds, and he didn't show it here, but just like with Shuri, you might bring somebody in for offense and then think, well, it's round 3. I don't really have one of my top defenders that I feel confident in, so I'm going to throw Juggernaut out there, and he can still stall. And he can still make it inconvenient on certain fights. And if you're not ready to do a double parry, and I'm sure in this meta, with the masochism, certainly for the victory track, it's even more of an incentive because of what happens the first time you parry. So I'm convinced. Ben, you convinced me. You're the man. Thanks for the photos. Thanks for the video. Thanks for watching.